You just click on this conversation starter and your GPT is all ready to go. We tested the model here and it's working great. Here we go. We got the 3 emails and we got 3 social media posts as well.
AI for real estate agents.
There's a lot of different custom GPTs that you can create. I think one of the most impactful one using AI is building your marketing custom GPT, right? This will be built in your voice, know what makes you different, and everything along those lines. So what is a custom GPT? So essentially, it is a version of ChatGPT that is specifically trained to get a result for you. It is specifically trained, and we're going to be covering a marketing custom GPT today that is trained on your marketing style, that is trained in your writing, that it knows what to do, right? You train it on who you are. Who do you serve? Who's your ideal client profile? How do you sound when you communicate? This can be used to have more custom tailored listings, social media posts, emails, follow-ups, and it'll all be in your voice, which is the important part. You see, ChatGPT is great, but it is not trained for you specifically. A custom GPT is essentially like an employee that can be trained in your voice. And once it's trained, you never have to retrain it. It remembers your brand voice, your clients, your goals, and everything else. Never takes breaks, right? This is essentially one of the newest members of your team.
And so once you open the ChatGPT to build a custom GPT, here's what you'd have to do first. Go to chatgpt.com as usual. I believe everybody here knows that. And the next thing that you want to do here is on the left-hand side, you're going to see this option that says explore. So this is where you'd have to click first. And so let's go into that option.
So you click explore under GPTs.
Yep. And from here, now here it's loading and you're going to see a bunch of GPTs which are like built by other developers and people. And so you're going to find them here, but that's none of our business today. We're going to focus on the right-hand side at the top. You're going to see 2 options. We have My GPTs and then we have Create. So if you have never created GPTs before, then you're going to click on the Create option. So that's what we'll do here. We're going to click on Create. Right. So once you click on Create, this is the kind of interface that you get. So let me just quickly walk over the interface here. Here we have Create and Configure. So let's just not talk about the Create tab. This is actually quite useless, to be honest. This just makes your GPT go haywire and it's gonna hallucinate a lot. So let's just not do that. So we'll just stick to the Configure tab. This gives us a lot more control. So on the Configure tab, you're going to see that you can add a name to your GPT. This is the name that's going to appear for your GPT. You can add a description. That's not really that important. What's important is the instructions here and knowledge. So this is where you upload files, which the GPT is going to have access to, and it will be able to read all the files that's uploaded to it, and it will be able to get the information that it needs to give the desired output that you're looking for.
So when we're talking about instructions and knowledge, thanks for pointing that out, Shivam. The instructions is basically what is its job, right? Am I right on that, Shivam? What is its job, right? What are you instructing it to do? The knowledge, man, the knowledge is where this is what makes yours better or worse. This is essentially the brain, right? So if I'm building an employee, which is what we're doing with the custom GPT, is building out an employee, right? Instructions, what is your job? And then the knowledge is like building your perfect brain for your employee.
Yes, sir. All right. So the next thing that we have here is you're going to see recommended models. We'll just leave it to none. You can always pick a model that you want to use. Preferably, I would say use Auto Model 5. And you can also use Thinking if you're looking for like better answers. So that's also one of the recommended models that you can use with the GPTs. And for the capabilities, you want to make sure that you have all these options turned on. By default, you're going to see that web search, canvas, and image generation is on. You want to make sure that you also turn this one on, which is code interpreter and data analysis. What this allows you to do is it will be able to analyze the uploaded files. And you would be able to upload your own files and ask questions based on that. It will be able to give you files which you would be able to download. So this is why we have to keep it on. So just adds extra capability to your GPT. All right. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to give it instructions. So I'll move to the next slide here, which is especially, of course, you first have to define your marketing GPT's role. So you first have to have an idea of what you actually want this marketing GPT to do, because you cannot have a GPT to do a lot of things. Otherwise, it will hallucinate and it will not perform the task up to its potential. So it could happen when you're creating a GPT and you want that GPT to do everything. So that's not what it is. So you would have to have a workflow in your mind. You want this GPT to perform a certain task. For example, you got a new listing and you want to market it. So you want to create 3 social media posts and 3 emails that you want to send out. So once you have that workflow in mind, build a GPT for that. But don't build a GPT for something that's just going to cover everything that you have. So that's not how it's going to work. So pick a clearer goal, and that's how it will get smarter, and it will perform better.
And what I will say with that, thank you for clarifying that. What I will say is identify what you're already doing within your business. This is the number one mistake I see agents and people make over and over again when it comes to AI, especially when building your custom GPTs. Don't make more work for you to do. Do not just start like, oh, now I'm going to I see what I can do with this. Now I'm going to start becoming an expert blog writer. Now I'm going to start doing all these tasks. No. Identify the areas in your business, especially your marketing, that is taking up time with you figuring out what to write and how to do things. And then create a custom GPT that will help you be more efficient in the marketing role, since we're talking about marketing GPT, that you are already doing. Does that make sense, guys? So don't try to create one to make yourself more efficient in work that you're not doing. Identify the areas that are taking up your time and then build a custom GPT that alleviates yourself in that role and creates more efficiencies.
So next up you're going to have to teach it who you are. So you would have to prepare a few files, which I'm going to walk over. So you're going to be feeding those files to the GPT. You're going to have to tell it what kind of agent you are, what market you're in, and your ideal client. You're going to have to upload examples of your work. For example, if you wanted to write something, you would have to kind of give it some input so that it will be able to learn your voice from it. You would have to describe your tone, your mission, your values, so that it will be able to understand you better, so that it can resonate and write in your style. And the more real examples you give it, the smarter and more personal your digital employee is going to be. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind, and then you're going to be creating knowledge bases that we're going to be adding to this file here. So this is where you can upload all the knowledge. So to create a knowledge base, it's simply you just click a new tab on your browser and just open Google Docs, or you can also use Microsoft Word, right? Once you open it, just create a blank document. Here, you would be able to have your agent profile. So your name, your title, brokerage, service areas, and your specialty, your unique selling points, and your contact information, your bio, whether you have more stuff about yourself, whether you have been featured somewhere, your publications, or whatever that might be. All that information that you have on you, you can have your own profile so that you can always feed it to the GPTs that you're working on. So once you have that, you can move on to your brand voice. So you can either have it this way or just give it examples and tell it to extract your brand voice from the given examples. That works the best. So feed it as much as examples as you can. If you have ever written anything, just take it out and just upload it into your GPT.
So what we're saying with this to build your brand voice is if you guys have written blog posts, you guys have social media posts that you like that you have written, you have email copy that you think is really well that you have written, upload those as examples into your knowledge base. Just give it data, right? That's what we're doing is we're building its brain. The more data that you can feed it based on real life examples of how you have written things now goes into your knowledge base, right? This is building your brain.
All right. So the next thing that we have is ideal client profile. So this is also that you're going to provide to your custom GPT. And of course, you can use next prompt to identify the ideal client buyer profiles for your business. And then you will be able to insert that into as a knowledge base into your custom GPT.
I'm going to give you guys something special here, something really nice. So if you guys really want to go in depth for creating your ideal client profile, I copy and pasted our prompt on how to properly identify your ICP here in the chat. All you got to do is articulate who your ICP is with this, and this will build out your entire ideal client profile for you. And look, family,
Right.
this is a little bit in depth, but if, like my football coach always said, do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. If you're going to build one of these out to write like you and to sound like you and to get this right, spend the time to go in there and do it right. Right? So yeah, so the next would be our ideal client profile. Who are you marketing to?
Yep. And the next thing is the service areas. Basically, you can either have it in your agent profile or you can describe it a little bit more if you want to, and your positioning. So you can do that just a bit extra. So that's up to you if you want to do it. You can also cover it within the agent profile. And besides that, we have the email examples and social examples. This is something that I've uploaded because I'm going to be generating these. So whatever you want this GPT to generate, you can provide the examples of, hey, I want you to generate emails, I want you to generate social media posts. So here's some examples, learn from these, and this is what you're going to be generating later. So we're going to provide that instruction within the instructions tab, but we're going to be uploading the examples here in the knowledge base. So that's why I have these two here as well. I'm going to share this knowledge base. All right, so once you have all this knowledge base, I'll just head over back to the presentation that we have. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is write the job description, right? This is basically writing the instruction, and we're going to use the formula which is given by Nick. Act as my goal is. So that's the prompt that we've been using so far. We all are familiar with that, so I'll stick to using that format here. So first thing that you want to start with is act as. So this is where you use, you want to give an identity to your digital employee, your custom GPT. You want to start bold with like act as a $1 billion digital marketing assistant for real estate agent. Of course, like if you can have access to $1 billion digital marketer, you would love to have it. So, which is exactly why you want to start with that. And of course, once you add that $1 billion, it actually makes a difference. So try adding it. For sure, it does. And so be specific about it. Be specific about who it's going to be, what it knows, and who it serves. The more you define this role, the smarter and more consistent your GPT is going to be. So to give you an example, this is where we're going to be doing all of this within this instructions tab. You're going to open this, and I have this open here. So I have this format. Act as a $1 billion digital marketing employee for real estate. You think like a marketing chief officer and execute like a world-class copywriter, your plan. So all that information is given here. You can have more information about what it's going to do, and you never overpromise. So you can also add some things that it would not cross that boundary and not do that. So, and you can also add something like ask questions. If anything is missing, then you move to the next part. So this is what you can describe. This would be like your persona for your custom GPT, which it's gonna use. And the next part that we have is my goal is. So follow your act as instruction with my goal is to give your GPT a clear target. For example, my goal is to plan and produce weekly marketing calendar across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, emails, including hooks, captions, call to actions, and posting cadence. So if you want to do that, you're going to include that goal, and you're going to go a bit in depth. You can also discuss with the ChatGPT to come up with the cadence for you. Or if you have a cadence for yourself, then you can just use that and build out everything for your Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So have your goal in mind. Be clear about your goal. Don't just say what to do, say what you want to accomplish. Remember that your GPT can't hit the target if you have never set it. So Yeah, just be clear about it. And for this example here, I've used to run post listing promotions from one place. For every new listing, you'll produce social and email assets that sound like me, attract qualified luxury buyers, and stay fair housing compliant. So it's going to do that. And it's also going to hit the deadlines, keep a consistent voice, and follow exact output flow below so I can approve fast and publish faster. So this is what my goal is, then this is what I want to achieve. And so that's what I've given here. So the rules. So you always start with always and never. I have found that it works the best if you do it this way. So always follow fair housing laws and stay neutral on protected clause, and format responses in clean spacing with bullet points or checklists for easy rating if you want to do that. Verify any stats, days, or market info before including them. So that's important as well. Never use bad or exaggerated phrases like boast or anything that makes it sounds more like ChatGPT-ish. So you want to avoid that. And never include personal opinions or promises that can be verified. So you want to keep that in mind. Never use symbols like M dashes because that's like has become a trend. Like whenever you see M dashes, that's like it's written by ChatGPT. So yeah, it's just something that I decided to add here as well. The clearer your rules are, the smarter your GPT is gonna act. So you're going to be providing that over here. I have described some rules. And then the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to provide an output format and workflow. So an output format is basically what you want from this GPT and in what format you need it. So follow this sequence, and the workflow is basically how it's going to be uh, giving that output. So for example, I uploaded the listing information. What I want is the first thing that I want is the three social media captions. So that's the first thing I want in my workflow. And once that's done, then I want the emails. So that's what I've written here. Follow the sequence every time I upload or paste listing information. Use the uploaded examples to mirror structure, rhythm, and spacing. So it will be able to find these uploaded examples within the knowledge base. Ask clarifying questions if needed, examples given, and once that's done, it's going to be creating three social posts, and in the exact given format, refer to the uploaded social examples to learn the style and pacing. So right now I'm giving it just instructions. I have not given it any examples. This is where you just write the instructions. You do not give examples here because you run out of space if you just start uploading examples within the instructions tab. You do not have unlimited amount of space here. So you just write the instructions. Whenever you want to upload any examples, you would do that right here within the upload files tab. So this is where you can see that I've uploaded multiple files here, multiple documents, email examples. You're going to see social examples, service areas, ideal client profiles, agent profile, and brand voice guide. So basically, I just downloaded all of these document tabs, and I basically just uploaded them over here. So that's all I did here. And uh, after describing this, I've just told it to after post write approve or revise. After approval, I'll create three emails. So that's what it's gonna write. And once I approve this, then it's gonna start writing the three emails for me that I need to like promote it to my email list. So yeah. So this is where you write the instructions. Once you have this knowledge base, by the way, you would be able to reuse this knowledge base that you have built into your other GPTs that you want to create. For example, I've created this just for promoting my listing to social media and to my email list, right? What if, let's say, I want to create YouTube videos? I want to do scripting, right? So I'll still be able to use this information that I've collected on myself. Agent profile, brand voice, ideal client profile, service areas, and maybe some script example if you want to do the YouTube. So that will be the only extra part that you'd have to do. You would always be able to use your agent profile, brand voice guide, ideal client profiles, and service areas in every GPT that you create because that it's about the same business. So that will be like your baseline knowledge base just about yourself. So once you have all that information, you're gonna add all the instructions here and upload the knowledge base. So I'll just walk over how you can upload the knowledge base. Let me close this. So this is what it would look like. You would just write your name here. For now, I'm just going to copy it. Right. Let me copy the instructions. As for knowledge base, once you have downloaded it from your document, so you just go to File, go to Download. Microsoft Word is what you're going to select, and you're going to hit Download. This is how you download it. And this is how you're going to select every single tab and download all of them. Once they're all downloaded, you're going to go to ChatGPT and upload files. And I'm going to select all the examples that I need. And I'm just going to click on Open. And now it's uploading all the files. You're going to have to wait for a little bit until it's all uploaded. All right, there we go. Now it's all uploaded here. So once everything's uploaded and your GPT is ready, on the right side, you're going to see this preview tab. This is where you would be able to do the testing. You want to start with like asking it or giving information or any prompt that you can. On the right side, though, you also have the conversation starter. So you would be able to add a conversation starter that would appear over here. So for example, here I had help me write marketing copy for my neighbor's listing, right? I'm just going to copy it and add that here. And you're going to see that it appears here as well. So to start communicating with your GPT, you will just click here, and that will act as your first prompt. So help me write marketing copy for my neighbor's listing. And now it's using, all right, now it's asking me the information, like give me the listing details, goal or target, what you want to do. And so now I'm gonna provide it the listing information. So this is just showcasing an example of what you can do. Here I have the property profile, the luxury listing information. I'm gonna go and put that in here. Yeah, it's also asking me for goal or target. So which audience do you want to target? I want to target luxury buyers. All right, there we go. And now it started writing social posts as I had given here. So you're going to see in the output format, the first thing that I need is 3 social posts. So it's writing 1, 2, and 3 social posts. So now that's done. Now it's asking me whether it's approved or does it need any revision. So I'm just going to say, if I'm fine with it, I'm just going to say approved. And now it's going to start writing pre-polished emails. So there we go. So now it's writing emails for us. The reason why I love GPT so much is because it makes life so much easier. You don't have to do like 2 long prompts when you know how to work with the GPTs. Once you have done the hard work once, you would never have to do it again because you can just always communicate with the GPT and it knows what you want to achieve. So it knows your goal. Awesome. So yeah, here we go. We got the 3 emails and we got 3 social media posts as well. So we tested the model here and it's working great. So everything's fine here. So the next thing that you want to do is once everything's fine and you've done the testing, you want to click on this button which says create. And here it's going to say, this is the kind of pop-up box that you're going to get. Now they can change this access to invite only, or you can make it public or publish this to GPT store.
If you don't want the public to be able to access this, then what you want to do is you can keep it private, which is basically like only you or somebody you share it with has it. If you make it anyone with this link, that means it's not in the GPT store, but you can share your GPT with anybody in your organization for them to be able to access. If you just want the public and you don't really care who sees it, you can do GPT store. What I normally do for ones that I create internally is I just do anyone with this link. And then I share the links with people to be able to just access it freely. So that way, once this is created, I can then share this GPT with Rob. And then Rob can just put this into his ChatGPT and he's able to use it, right? So that way, like if you have team members, right? If you have team members, you can do anyone with this link. You can create, let's say you have all of your standard operating process built into a custom GPT knowledge base. And all these questions that people ask you, Rob, every single day, and it's like the same freaking questions that you answer to, you can put all of your knowledge, your standard operating procedure into a knowledge base. You can have it act as your, I don't know, your listing step-by-step specialist who answers these questions and then goes into like your entire instruction base. And now, Rob, you can have like, hey, before you come ask me a question, you have to ask Rob GPT. So now the people on your team come and ask Rob, and it's the system and process built out, but now you have a buffer to get rid of your gotta minutes, just for an example. If you have a coach, you can upload all of their coaching material into a knowledge base and have it act as your coach. So now you can talk to it back and forth. But this is where it's literally like employees and people that know your systems like the back of your hand, know your marketing like the back of your hand, and they can act as employees inside of your business.
Right. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'll just keep it to invite only and just going to click update. All right, so here we go. So now you get two options, copy link or view GPT. I'm just going to use copy link because I'm going to open this in a new tab. So I've copied the link and I'm going to open a new tab, just paste that link here. And that should show up right here. There we go. So now you can just help me, just click on this conversation starter and your GPT is all ready to go.
And show them how they add it to their sidebar. I think this is really simple. So so if you don't want to have to find the link every single time, just simply click the name of it and then click keep in sidebar.
Yeah. So let me just clear one thing. Once you create a GPT by yourself, it will be by default, it's going to go and it's going to be pinned in your sidebar. So you will never lose it. And in any case,
you don't have
to
do that. So if you created your own always pops up there.
Yeah. So by default, it does that. But for some reason, let's say you somehow removed it, you can just find this option again, keep in sidebar, and then that's how you can keep it there.
Yep.
So there we go. We have that GPT over there, and now it's ready, and you can communicate with it.
I love it.
If you're a real estate agent and don't want to get left behind with all of these AI updates, guys, you're in the right place because we created the world's very first AI certified agent. We have an entire AI institute dedicated to the real estate industry. We have a top custom GPT in the ChatGPT store just for the real estate industry. All you got to do is check out some of the links in the description below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And if you're still here, go ahead and check out one of the other videos that we just shot.